Violent clashes erupted outside the Chicago ICE detention center over the weekend, and the Department of Homeland Security has released a startling image showing what rioters brought with them. At least 11 people were arrested after protests at the Broadview Processing Center turned chaotic. DHS alleges that among those arrested, 2 guns were seized along with what appears to be an explosive device discovered near the facility. The protests are tied to Operation Midway Blitz, a Trump administration initiative intensified in recent weeks. The goal: more aggressive immigration enforcement in the Chicago area, targeting undocumented immigrants who have criminal convictions or pending charges. According to DHS, the rioters arrived at the facility wielding not just weapons but also supplies consistent with preparing for sustained confrontation. They brought boxes of fireworks, gas masks, N95 masks, goggles, protective gear, and even a large amount of food and water. After the protests, crowds blocked entrances and gates, tried to breach federal property, and in DHS description, even swarmed access points. DHS claims the situation was dangerous enough to merit forceful measures. Protesters, it says, were throwing tear gas canisters, rocks, bottles, and fireworks. Tires of vehicles were slashed, and people tried obstructing law enforcement operations. Federally deployed agents used tear gas, paper balls, and other crowd control tools to regain control. The explosive device remains under investigation. DHS has not confirmed whether it was fully functional or what its exact nature is, but its presence has heightened concerns over how intense these protests were. Illinois leader responded sharply. Governor J.B. Pritzker demanded that local and federal authorities explain how situations escalated, and voices across the political spectrum raised questions about whether the response was proportionate. Critics argue that while protests are legal and often protect civil liberties, bringing in firearms or device-like objects is a serious escalation that must be addressed through law enforcement and, if necessary, prosecution. Supporters of DHS argues law enforcement had evidence of real threat and needed to act. What turned out in this incident is the way protest supplies mirror those used in more intense organized confrontations. Protective gear, mask, food, water, these are tools not for spontaneous, small-scale dissent, but sign of people expecting long hours and possibly clashes. While free speech and the right to protest are foundational in the US, carrying weapons or explosive-type items crosses into action the law treat very different. As of now, investigations are ongoing. DHS has stated they will look into supplied the weapons, who organized the gathering, and whether criminal charges beyond arrest will be brought. The identity of the explosive device and whether it was dangerous remains under review.